Love is in the air when it's springtime, and there's some Japanese people who really enjoy a romantic relationship with Western men and women. There's some specific points that are different in the relationship, and today we're going to be talking about those. Hey everyone, welcome back to another Date shimasen ka kind of episode. We're the hosts. My name's MJ.
My name is Adam.
And thanks for joining us again in another round of English immersion for you to not only listen to English, understand some of the phrases and the sounds of English, but more importantly, the fwinky, this is a pinky, so the fwinky, you get it? I'll stop. Idea of English. It's not only about studying, that's an important thing too, but also just experiencing the culture is a massive part of English. We're going to be talking about a point where some people in Japan can get a even deeper understanding of English by having a relationship with a Westerner.
Wow.
Specifically, we're going to be focusing on Americans, because I'm from America, and Canadians. So
Canadians.
North Americans.
Yes.
Dating North Americans. So there are a few points that really stick out to me that a lot of maybe guys have, Western guys have, that maybe Japanese guys, I don't want to say don't have, because there's, so many different types of people. But generally speaking, all right,
Yeah.
we're going to speak general, that a lot of people in the US, North America, are very direct with how they feel, what they're thinking.
Yeah. There's almost no guessing sometimes.
Almost. And of course,
yeah.
as we're studying the language, me and Adam, studying Japanese and stuff, we know that there's a lot of aimai. There's a lot of beating around the bush because you don't want to offend someone's feelings in any situation. If it's with friends, maybe even your family, definitely in the office, and definitely in a place where you're meeting strangers, people for the first time. But for Westerners, this could be a great chance if you are meeting someone who you are attracted to, maybe physically, maybe mentally, and you want to just continue with maybe a date, follow up, possibly create a romantic relationship. This can easily be done by someone who is direct by just saying, hey, I really had a great conversation this evening. Do you want to go out for some coffee next weekend or something, right? And do you think, Adam, is this something that it would scare people away? If you're a Japanese person, would this scare you away from having this relationship, or the opposite effect?
I think it really depends. I don't know. I realized after being in relationships in Japan, that going out for coffee versus going out for coffee with a friend or with 2 friends, 3 friends, depends on the group, is like there's a difference. If that makes any sense. Like if it's just a guy and a girl going out for coffee, the assumption is it's a date. And I realized this. It felt at certain times that the communication, it's not just, it's like a friend thing for one person, but the other person is like a date thing, and it's like, what's going on here?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
So there's miscommunication. Sounds like there's not much of a direct conversation that happened beforehand. Okay.
So I feel like a let's go out for coffee from a foreigner, Westerner, North Americaner is kind of like not a date, but not a date. It's not a date, but it's not a date.
You guys get that, everyone? It's not. There's 2 negatives there. It's not a date.
We're still trying to figure out how I feel about the person, but also don't want the company of too many people to make it confusing. You just want to get to know that one person.
That one person.
So you go out for coffee. It's not a date, but it's not a date.
Okay. I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah. I think most Western people, most North Americans, they don't want to say, let's go on a date, because dating is the level up. Whereas in Japan, if it's a guy and a girl, it's rarely like we're just friends. It's kind of like this is a date unofficially.
Oh.
Without saying it's a date. But
Yeah,
Westerners
yeah.
would say, let's go on a date.
You know what? This is getting love is not an easy
the game to play.
It's not an easy game to play either. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you're mentioning, it really depends on the person as well
Right. Yeah.
of how direct they are. And because I'm
Right.
just thinking like, yeah, maybe even in North America, there are ways that we are direct, but also at the same
Yeah.
time, not so direct. Like you're mentioning, it's a
True,
date,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
not a date.
But it's not a
But it's
date.
not, no, oh no,
It's
it's
not
not
a
a
date.
date.
But it's not a date.
Right. And
It's two of us, but for a Westerner, until I feel if we say it's official, like we're in a relationship, then that's the line.
okay.
But if it's just, oh, let's go out for coffee sometime, you might get the ooh butterflies. Like, ooh, let's
Yeah.
go see how we can talk to each other, see if I
Okay.
like this person or not. But in Japan, maybe there might be that idea that, oh, he's asking me out on a date, so I need to refuse.
All right. So then, so for that one, directness, do you think that's
Directness
a
is,
good point that
I think
Westerners
it's a
have?
good point,
A
yes,
good point.
because at least you know if you're going out, if somebody says, let's go for a coffee,
Yeah.
like a straight from North America, hasn't
Yeah.
lived in Japan for a long time and says, hey, let's go out for coffee sometime.
Yeah.
That person is not asking you out on a date, but they want to get to know you better without a group of people kind of taking time away from your conversation. The second coffee is maybe a date.
That's when it gets real.
It
Okay.
gets
How
real.
about this one? How about this one?
Yeah.
Specifically talking about Western guys,
Yeah.
the idea of ladies first,
Yes.
chivalry.
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 That's a hard
Chivalry.
word to say. Not that I'm
Yeah.
saying it as often.
Chivalry.
Yeah. And this means everyone examples opening the door for them.
Yeah.
Ladies first, and always like making sure, if there's a puddle on the ground, you take your jacket off, you throw it down, so she doesn't get wet on that
Yeah.
puddle. Have you seen this in the Japanese realm with Japanese guys doing this? Is there a onnasaki?
I I haven't seen it, and I've heard a lot of complaints that it's very rare if it does happen from other women and friends of
Okay.
mine. So I guess it's not that common in Japan.
Yeah.
No.
Ooh, and I think I don't know. I feel like it possibly can be changing. I'm thinking about like my relationship with my wife, and it's like, are there things that I do that are similar to that? And I feel it's
Mhm.
more just like maybe helping out around the house. This
Oh
kind
yeah,
of thing that in many
equal, like
people, especially a long
sharing.
time ago, yeah, you
Yeah,
think about what a housewife's job is, right?
yeah, yeah,
Putting bunny quotes, air quotes for everyone, because it's a family job. A relationship is two
right,
people
right.
working together. So this
Yeah,
thing shouldn't just be for the wife to take care of. And
yeah.
so in my case, I'm like, okay, I'll try helping out cooking. I'll do some housework,
Mhm.
cleaning, vacuuming, laundry. I'll try to do my part too. And I've overheard, other people when they're talking to my wife, especially older generation
Mhm.
Japanese women say,
Yeah.
いいですね。旦那さんは
Yeah.
いいですね。
何にもしません、この
Right.
人。
Has that happened to you?
Well, yes and no. I think as you said, with the older generation, it does. But then with the kind of our same like age group, it seems like it's not 100% equal, but it's
Mm.
not Otosan just drinks sake and watches
Yeah.
baseball all day.
Right.
You can see like maybe dad plays with the kids, mom does the cooking, dad does the laundry and things like that. It's
Mm.
not like it was before around or among our age group, like
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Right.
seems like it's changing.
Right. I think so too. So this whole
Yeah.
ladies first thing maybe I don't think is such a strong point
Hmm.
for dating a Western guy.
Yeah. But we're talking about dating now,
Oh,
though.
not just real. Okay.
Not just
Dating
yeah.
versus being in a
The
relationship.
family, like in a relationship, right?
Yeah. Those
Yeah.
are pretty different points.
Right.
Another one I've heard is public affection.
Ooh.
Now, this is holding hands in public,
Yes.
putting your arm around your partner or the person you're dating,
Yeah.
hugging, kissing in public and stuff. Is this a good point for Westerners to have in Japan?
I think it can be a point of I don't know how to say it, like where the person gets either turned off or feels
Mhm.
bad because it's not very common in Japan, right? So on one hand, maybe the person who's receiving is a Japanese person and they're
Mm.
not used to it. They don't like it. They don't want to do that thing, but they do it like muriari just because
Oh, okay.
they
Yeah.
feel like they want to please their partner.
Ooh.
And then on the other side, the partner might feel like, why is this such a problem? I just want to show my affection. And that
Yes.
person might feel bad about it, not
Yeah.
being accepted.
Ooh.
So I can imagine that there will be some like, what do they call it? Conflict? Not
Conflict,
like
yes.
fighting, but kind of like a feeling of being distant from the person. You know, I don't like the feeling of being so distant from you, baby. You
So
know, like,
let's be personal about this,
yeah,
okay? I'll say
yeah,
for myself,
yeah.
for the most part, I would say like 90%, I do not do this. Even when I
Okay,
was back in the US,
yeah,
I wasn't keen or big on making out in public or
right,
like
right,
putting
yeah.
my arm around somebody and like holding their hand like while we're walking down the street. Not my thing. I was more like private. But
Shoulder
it's
to
not
shoulder.
it's not zero shoulder to shoulder. Yeah. In the Yamanote line, yeah. But it wasn't zero. There are a few
Okay,
times that I do. And how
yeah,
how
right.
about you?
I think I'm not completely zero. Like, there's a time and a place. I feel like let's go with the simple as basic, like holding hands. I think that's for me. That's like normal.
Yes. Okay.
I like hugging. Yeah, arm around. It's fine for me.
Yeah.
Like if it's zero, I feel weird.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
again, it's time and place. If it's zero in a place
Yes.
where it's not appropriate, then I'm fine.
Yes. I think that this we could go really deep because I feel
Deep,
like
yeah,
there's two other points that could really affect this. One
yeah.
being how old you are,
True.
and another
That's
one
true.
how
Yeah.
drunk you are is a big one.
Yeah,
How many
that's
drinks do you
true
have before
too.
this?
But I definitely like making out is like not something that I particularly like doing. Kissing
Yeah.
and yeah, one or two pecks is fine, but not
Right,
like
a peck.
a
Yeah.
full sesh on display for everyone to see.
Right.
Uh
So I
yeah,
feel you made a really good point where
yeah.
yes, this is a probably if anyone knows a couple or you are a couple that is Western person and you're a Japanese person, this is a big one where
Mm,
their Western might have strong feelings to be like, I want to, in a way, show the world by holding your hand, by putting my arm around, by kissing in public more
yeah.
often, that we are a couple and this is how
Right,
I
right,
feel
right.
about you, right? But in Japan, like this is such a taboo type of thing to do. Or I don't
Right.
know if it's taboo. It's just like not. I feel
But
like it's
there's
not like seen bad. Like people don't go, "Ugh,
what
yeah," like
is
yuck. Like nobody does that. But
yeah. Kimo.
it's just because it is like nobody does it.
Right.
So when somebody does do it, there is like some eyes that are like, oh,
Like, oh,
ちょっとね.
yeah. Yabai ne.
Yeah. So for me, and like I'm sure you feel the same way, and
Yeah.
anyone who has lived in Japan as long as we have and understands the culture more, that I wouldn't do this to my
Yeah.
partner. I
Yeah.
wouldn't put them through that.
Right,
As well
right,
as,
right.
I personally wouldn't do that, as well as I'd understand that this is something that is not common here. Going
Right,
back
yeah.
to the phrase that everyone knows, when in Rome, do as the
Do as the
Romans.
Romans, yeah.
You follow the culture of
Right.
that area as much as you
Yeah.
can. That's probably the big one. So this idea I feel is like the negative for
Mm.
Westerners dating in
Yeah,
Japan.
yeah. Yeah.
Hey, well, everyone, let us know if you like this topic. got a little steamy maybe in this one. Let us know if you want us to talk about this a little bit more, because I feel like there's a lot more that can be revealed or talked about in this topic of having a relationship. Of course, me and Adam, we're on just one side experience, kind of, because we're the guys in the relationship.
Right,
So
that's true, for sure.
we're not so sure, but this one can go deep. So let us know in the comment section if you want us to talk about this more, or what kind of topics you'd like us to talk about, or if you've had any experience yourself about this topic. But that's it for this video. Like it, and hey, subscribe to the channel if you would like to see more of our content.
Yep, but that's it. We'll see you
On the next step.